Evening, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the Biden speech. Did Sig get hacked? Where did I get my music from? Just YouTube. You like it? I can give you this playlist. It's the playlist we'll be using tonight. Let me know if I'm too quiet or the music's too loud. We'll adjust it. Sig didn't get hacked. He's just having fun. Alright, should we look at futures while we're waiting for some peeps to join? Sid, yeah, feel free to DM me. We have a major update coming for the website, so I'm hoping to have that out in the next week or two. Might address some of your concerns, but yeah, I always take suggestions. I've been testing a few things, but I have a really nice idea that I think will be improvement. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I do think copper and coal will continue to rise, whether that's tomorrow or next week, but trying to time things to the day is sometimes difficult. Let me see how they're doing futures-wise. Just give me a second. I'll take a peek. Copper is currently down about 0.2%. Oil is just absolutely flying. It's up 5.5%, $110 a barrel already. Crude oil is $109 a barrel. Brent oil is almost at $111. It's it's gonna not be great, you know. Looking. Let me pull up coal here in a second. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want, check out commodities. I'll post a link for you guys. B&O is going to do great. Let's see, natural gas is up 1.5%. All of Britain stuff. Britain, nickel, copper is up a ton. Zinc, aluminum. Wheat is up. Soybeans down. Corn's down. Coffee and cocoa is up. Sugar's up. Lean hogs, lumber, and oats are up. Wish they put coal in here. I have to like... There, we could look at it on the CME group. And we can look at it on here. Coal futures. Assuming this is going to be delayed. I don't know, maybe it didn't come up. But what did I just do? Oh, I see what it did. Well, looks like it's flying. So I have a feeling we're going to be okay. It's up 14%. Coal is up. So I have a feeling our Arch contracts are going to be absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't looked at Arch, I highly recommend it. It's one of my top picks right now. I've been tweeting about it. I've been talking about it. It's just, the whole setup is just a perfect rounding bottom with butt cheeks in between. I mean, if you look on the hourly, you know, basically is a double bottom. Wu-Tang closed at near all-time highs. On top of that, let me show you, let me log into Ortex here. I want to show you the short interest on it. It's actually quite ridiculous. So we have all the makings of what I call a long squeeze. This isn't going to be like a it goes to 1,000 overnight, right? It's just gonna be slow, steady drip melt upwards. So this is the short data on Arch. If you're familiar, I'll get to you guys' requests. Go ahead and throw them in the chat. I'm gonna go through a couple of things I want to look at first, and then I'll go through from start to finish and take a look at some of the ones you guys want me to look at. So yeah, 38.5% shorted, 5.5 million shares. So this thing's got some squeezing to do. You know, it's about a it's about a 7 days to cover on there. So really looking forward to just holding this for quite a while, you know. So I like Arch. I think Arch can go to about 140. So you basically have a 1, 2, 3. There's that 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is wave 4 we're in right now. So that would put us potentially at 150. That's not gonna quite go there overnight, right? It's gonna probably do it in mini 1 through 5 up there. But I like Arch. I have this war list here. I really like. There's a lot of names in here. One of the ones I've been looking at had a really good pop on the open today, but CCJ, you know, I have a 1, 2, 3 right there. So CCJ, and my fractal didn't quite play out, but it certainly still could play out. You know, if we just move this. Probably need a new fractal, but either way, you know, CCJ is at resistance right now, right? So you can see clear resistance on that. Got rejected off right on open. Came back in. So it's going to have to form a base here, but you got to remember the reason why uranium is bullish right now is because of Russia. So think about it. Germany signed a deal with Russia to build the Nord Stream 2 pipeline and basically decommission their nuclear power plants. So they were going to take natural gas and oil from Russia, and that was going to be their new infrastructure for energy. Now, with what's going on with Russia, they canceled the use of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which is already built and done. So that was a waste of money. I'm sure one day they'll use it, but now they could recommission their nuclear power plants and maybe even switch to it. You know, it's one of the cleanest energy sources, you know, besides wind, solar, geothermal, all the renewable ones. Nuclear is up there for, well, hydroelectric. Nuclear is up there for one of the most highly producing, cleanest energy sources. You know, the problem is the storage of the nuclear waste. It's always been the problem, and, you know, the meltdown concerns. But, you know, with proper care and upkeep, nuclear is very safe and very efficient. So CCJ is something that I love. This consolidation here. I love the buying here. You know, we basically had just massive volume here recently, and each day open we just massive volume, and so would love to see that continue. Want to see this break over that 25 mark. So, I mean, China's continuing to build nuclear, France building nuclear, America is talking about getting back on it. The future is bright. Corn, with it down tonight, don't expect much from this tomorrow, but all the energy stocks should do good tomorrow. You know, you got BNO, which is Brent oil futures. I mean, you could just play the United States Oil Fund as well. We saw tons, literally tons of USO calls coming in and USO TFC alerts today. So really like USO to continue here, and oil producers in general. I mean, one of the ones we've been talking about recently has been Occidental Petroleum. Obviously, this hit my measured move from this butt cheek breakout. So you can see I have that exactly there, and it's consolidating. I've had this literally pegged since October for us hitting that price target, and we just hit it today. So yeah, Zine, in the future is bright because there'll be nuclear explosions, right? And it'll light up the skyline. That's the way you would spin that. So this is consolidating and making a flag. I anticipate a breakout potentially tomorrow as well. Yeah, that's crazy. It hit it to the T, my target from October. Nuts. So look for more continuation here. You know, you have the false amigos here, and you do have the gravestone doji there, so just keep that in mind. That is a upside down hammer, but this is a little bit bullish. Did finish green, so it just means that there was some profit taken towards the end of the day. Not too worried about it. Alright, copper. This is one that we played today on the small account, and it paid handsomely. So I noticed recently, last week we had the breakout and retest, and that was continuing today. So we had the retest, and then today was just the major breakout. So now we're consolidating above a pivot and supply zone, and so I think this can continue to run. I have a target here, 76, and I plan on getting back in this tomorrow, probably midday. We'll see, but I want some copper exposure. If you don't want to play this, there's other copper exposure. You could do FCX. I like SCCO better, but I think SCCO has more upside. FCX has already run a ton. Did have the breakout already today, so you can see that was up 2% today. I expect that to retest around 46, and then that should see some continuation there. Now looking at penny stocks, and I apologize, NASCAR. Maybe if we have some time at the end and I get through a bunch, maybe we'll have some fun and do some penny stocks. If you're in penny stocks, look for ones that have part of the energy sector. That would probably be my suggestion there, or part of the materials sector. So things like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going through kind of things I want to look at right now, and then I will please start with a dad joke, and then I will I'll take the request. So I'm just going through my war list here, things that are on my top things to look at. So silver's nice here. Silver had a major breakout. So you can see here, silver had this huge consolidation period all the way back to basically, it's been consolidating since July of 2020. But what really is nice is this formation here. So if you're familiar with accumulation, this is what we call the river. So this is what I call river of accumulation. It's just kind of a slow bleed, and then you break out. And kind of show you, I've been seeing a lot of Wyckoff set up this year. That's why you see me tweeting about it a lot. And so if you're looking at, this is what we call reaccumulation phase. I could get you a schematic for it, but this is basically what we're looking at here. Hold on. So this is called a, let's see if we can transparency this. You can see it's not always going to be one-to-one, obviously. So you have your phase A, your phase B, your phase. So this is your phase B right here, and then here's your accumulation, right? So boom, you have your river right through there, and then we're going to get our breakout consolidation, and then silver's going to go nuts. So that is what we call reaccumulation. Let's see if we can. Let me put this on the 2 hour and we can get this thing looking a little bit more like it. Right? There we go. So hopefully you guys like that. So I have went long on silver today. I went long on gold today. If you want to look at gold, we can look at gold here real quick. So silver and gold, I'm going to add to this as well. I think those need to be on here. Basically materials. Gold looks like an even better setup. This is textbook accumulation as well. Let me just get rid of everything. So why don't we go ahead and mark up gold here real quick with some pivot zones, and then we can get into the fun stuff. So gold should consolidate in this area for a week or two. If not, it's just going to go straight north. We do kind of have this straight, this is what we call a markup phase, and clearly we are getting volume, so this is looking really good. I really like gold right now. It's kind of in this channel right there. There it is. Alright, I've seen Sky H pop up in the chat like 12 times. I can see why. Okay. So is this a SPAC? Looks like it's a SPAC that just went public here with a merger. I'll be honest with you, I'm not familiar with this one. Obviously looks like it's been popular lately. I like the setup. I mean, this looks like it has room for continuation. Closed just at the highs there. So you're going to want to see, basically this get over the close or the high of yesterday, 615.60. The thing can keep going. Alright. SPY. I know what people have been asking me for that. So I will say that we should get a small bounce tomorrow. I do see a falling wedge here. So we should at least retest this this resistance zone right here. So maybe we go to there, and then we make a double top, and then we come back down. So I could see that happening. If we somehow push through 437, 438 zone, then your target's going to be 446. And if we could break over 446, then we could start going back up. But I'm more bearish than bullish right now. I don't see a ton of reasons for us to go up. I do think a lot of things Biden said is kind of pumpy, but at the same time, it's Biden, so that's usually a dump. And we got this bear trap here, no volume. I do love the volume on this low right here, and I love the volume on this low. I do think we have one more test before we go up, so I think we can come down to 400, and then that's when I think we go out. So this was my prediction originally. If you go on my Twitter, you could see my chart basically looks like this. So that would be what I would do. Spy. Someone asked for Google. I haven't charted Google in a hot minute. You got falling volume. You got really weak volume too here. This isn't bad volume, but weak compared to back here. So, I mean, really just... So Google had a selling climax here, potentially. Looks like all the buying volume is better than the selling volume. And Google's been getting a lot of call flow lately. Yeah. I could see this maybe going back up one more time. And then coming down. But I could also see it just coming down. I don't need to check SPY on the weekly chart. KO has Russia exposure, I know that. So they're going to be hurting. I don't necessarily see a head and shoulders, you said on the 15? Oh, I can kind of see it on the 15. It's a pretty weak head. Well, be interesting. You know, just play the breakout range. So you got clear support here around 61.50, and then you got clear breakout range at 62.25. So just play whichever way it breaks. Pretty simple. Let's see what else we got going on here. Time to long Neo. Why don't we take a look at Neo? Why not? Alright, looks like Neo rejected the pivot there pretty harshly. I don't think it's time to long Neo. I think when Neo gets to $5, you can long it. Yeah. I don't have any other thoughts on that. It's not a stock I would play right now. So I looked at LMT earlier today. I thought it could get to about 460. So how'd this do after hours? Just consolidated, okay. So I thought it could get to about 460. There's just a massive candle at the end of the day. Look at that candle. I mean, these buying candles are huge. So if it goes over 460, then it can go to 477. But yeah, this thing is just straight vertical. So congratulations if you've been playing that one. Alright, Bank of America was requested. Been getting texts about this one. People have been wanting to know if they should play Bank of America. I would say after the dividend. Looks like it's got dividend in 2 days. I do think it can come down to 40, possibly 39. Really what you're looking for is just a sign of a reversal. I think this 43.50 mark would be where I'd like to see it get over before I would go long on it. Why do people like repeatedly ask me about DraftKings? It's just not a popular stock anymore. It looks like it did break the downtrend, did test it, get over it. Keeps rejecting off this pivot at 25. So really, until it gets over 25, I got nothing for you. I do like the volume in this area with the buying, so it does look like you could be getting some accumulation built up here. So over 25, buy it. Under 22, short it. ANGH. Angami. Whoa. What happened with this? Is this short squeeze? That's what it looks like. Or news, some sort of news base. I don't know anything about the stock. But let's say you can long it over 1850 or short it under 16. Welcome, Sly. Alright, what else we got here? Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, let me do Bitcoin. Equities in wheat. Yeah, you're going to be looking at like Archer Midland does wheat. So they do a lot of soybeans, sunflower. They do seeds and things like that. So corn. Also, so Archer Midland's probably your one. You're also going to want to look at Bungie Limited, BG. BG is also a wheat stock. Add that to this. They just had earnings too, I think. Or they had earnings. MGPI is also another wheat stock. Agricultural. Don't love this ANDE, another wheat stock. Looks like it's been getting some volume lately. Add these in. Wheat, as in bread. Rocket has special dividend March 7th. What is short interest in Rocket right now. Hold on, let me pull this real quick. This is looking cheeky though. You got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. Probably see some consolidation down to about 13. Still 15% shorted. XLE looks great, right? I mean, broke out, retested it, closed with an inverse head and shoulders. XLE is going to moon tomorrow, like absolutely go bonkers. So I really like XLE right now. Should see this run to about 75 or so. Pins. Wow, what happened to this stock? How the mighty have fallen. Nice falling wedge breakout, kind of flagging right now. I like pins here. I could definitely see this running. You'll maybe fill this gap up here around 32. I also think pins was a takeover target by PayPal at one point. So perhaps, you know, they might sell. And I think that was for like 60. Yeah, that was for like 66 a share. So, I mean, that's saying something. I could easily see this running back up to 32. Let's see here. Sig, are you live? I didn't realize you were live. I'm sorry. Oh. Yeah, it was kind of impromptu. I was kind of thinking what to do tonight, and I figured I was gonna chart, so I was like, why not just throw some music on? I'm sure people would like to see me, whoopsies. Figured people would like to chart with me, so why not broadcast it, right? Got anything you're looking at, Tristan? Or should I say Trist? Oh, that's Bobby the Bull, isn't it? Robbie. How was work? Didn't you say you had to work? Make any sales? Oh, Maxar. Yes, we were talking about this on Sunday. And lo and behold, it has continued. Banks. You looking to short banks or long banks? So, yeah, we looked at this Sunday. I said, hey, this could probably run to 33, and look like it did, so. and it continues to go. So at this point, looks like max our next target. Yeah, this thing is choppy. Needs to get over this mark. It looks like it filled this right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this consolidated here. Is there one bank in particular that you really like? Can we see some Morgan Stanley flow today? I really like Morgan Stanley. We just looked at BAC. I did chart that. So I said if it bounces here, needs to get back over 43.50, and then it can go. So look at Morgan Stanley. I like this one. Thing kind of took a shit. Well, this looks like a good place for it to potentially bounce. What's this on the fibs? It's the 382, so yeah, this would be where you'd want banks to bounce. At least redo the breakout in 95. It is insane how they sold off, but there's not a lot of good news for them. In fact, all the news that has come out in the last couple weeks has been terrible for banks. So not only do you get the emerging markets in Russia shut off, you get the rate hikes canceled. Like, the news for banks is not great. So that being said, I still like banks. Fundamentally, they're undervalued, and they're still going to make a lot of money this year. So I think they'll be okay. What else are we looking at here? Yuso, Tesla, everyone. I feel like I should just tweet a Tesla chart every day, and people would just like click on it, and I'd get like insane amount of followers, like, right? So Tesla's coming down to 700 again. There you go. I've had that for a while. It had a, like, it hit my zone here perfectly, rejected, tweezer reversal, weakness. I do like the buy up at the end of the day. I don't like the volume, but I do. I still think Tesla's coming down to about 700. Hold on 1 second. I just. Plug something in. Okay. How do you run out of USB ports? You ever run out of USB ports on your computer? I have like 15 of them. DWAC. Yeah, we have been seeing a crazy amount of... I love day trading Tesla. It gets me in trouble more often than it doesn't. But longing Tesla right now looks terrible. Because if you see what I see, and you feel what I feel, then you know Tesla rejected this uptrend and is coming back down. So, DWAC. Wow, DWAC looks very interesting. I have to say it looks like distribution to me, though. You have a selling climax here. Let me show you what distribution looks like. I can overlay it. So, I'm not saying it can't go, but I'm saying the volume tells me this is not going to go. So, basically, I like to do these just to kind of give you an idea of what's happening. So, the thing that we didn't get, though, is the sell-off off of this. So, I'm wondering if this is more like this. And so you're going to get one more ultimate test here. And that's going to be what's going to make or break this. So you should see a retest most likely of the 100 area. We might be getting news of it coming out on Google Android. I've been seeing just absolutely bonkers amount of call flow going into it. So yeah, it's just been crazy flow on it. There was a ton of put flow on it today as well, so I'm not going to play it, but if you want to play it, I can see why. Totally makes sense to me. So, KLXE. Okay. Oil and gas makes sense. Penny stock. Oil and gas that loses money right now is just not a stock that I would want to be in, if I'm being honest with you. But I bet you just because of the industry, I bet you it goes to $9, $10 in that area. Other than that, I don't know much about it. It does look like it has earnings coming up in the next 2 weeks as well. So, yeah, if you're going to play it, Chris, I would only play it short term. So, PNW and Baba, sure, we can do those. PNW did exactly what I thought it would do. Amazing. Awesome. So PNW is retesting the breakout. And it had a great candle on it. Look for volume to come in and continuation. So what you're probably going to get is a little ping pong action in between these zones here as news comes out. So you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be a wave 4, it looks like. So you got your 1, 2. This will be your 3. So you're going to need your ABC. So what you're going to want to see is probably a retest of, excuse me, this looks most logical in the 586. And then you see kind of a Wu-Tang like that. And that's going to be the price action you're looking for. Let's take a look at Baba. I think it's important. Oh, wow, that hit my PT perfect. Love it. Baba's sitting around 100. It's funny to think that like we were so focused on Russia or China and all that, and then Russia's like, "Hey, China, let's let's give you a break. And so now we're focused on, actually, if we're going to chart this, we really need to chart 9988. In my opinion, this is more accurate. Let's see, I had this coming down to 93, so apparently. In my opinion, the 9988 chart is much more accurate for charting and predicting long-term growth than BABA itself. Pan W is Mario's baby. So has been consolidating underneath 108, and keep in mind these prices aren't one-to-one, so the important thing to realize is going to be the price action. So the pump today was low volume. I haven't seen anything that tells me yes, we are going up. You know, a lot of this is just dead cat bouncing. So for me, I want to see us reclaim this zone. The fact that it broke below it and had a head and shoulders tells me that this is most likely going down further, and most likely going to go down to this, it looks like the 83. So I imagine BABA, if we go back to BABA, I mean, you can even see the head and shoulders here. We just retested it here and failed, so we can go from there. That would put us in the 80, around 81 to 83 range. Yeah, 9988 is the Hong Kong exchange ticker. That's where you get your primary price action on it. You can see all these gaps overnight. Anytime you get a ticker that's headquartered in another country and they have a stock exchange there, you generally want to chart that stock exchange. So go for a few more minutes, do a couple more requests, and then I'm gonna got some coding I need to do. So got some really cool features coming out soon for all the subscribers. I'm really excited for that. I've been working on a lot of algorithm developments for some new technical signals for you guys, so keep an eye on that. Those are going to be baller. Alright, so not very bullish on Moderna. You got this head and shoulders that hasn't fully played out yet. Kind of did, but not quite. So I'd like to see this go to about 125 here. It did have good earnings, so that kind of negated it, but it has been holding this. So as long as it holds above 147, probably be okay. I don't love this double top here. I do love the volume action off of earnings, and I do think it looks really good. So you're either gonna retest this this pivot here, or we're just gonna break down and go down to 125. So again, the price action tomorrow will probably be key on that. It does look like it could be starting a river here, so this could be reaccumulation here. We'll have to see. SQ. Don't love that every pump was immediately a tweezer reversal. Kind of sitting there with an indecision doji at the end of the day as well. Again, this one's in a box, so just play the breakout of the box. So long it over 132, short it under 124. Yeah, so if you want to play the ping pong action in an intraday trade, that's up to you. But if you're looking at a swing, that's what I would say. MTTR Matterport, this was one of my hold it for a very long time stocks. you know, this is one of those that short term is going to struggle, but they have the capabilities to be a long-term hold and be a just massive company if the metaverse takes off. So it did break the downtrend recently. Really like that. I don't love that it's kind of risey wedgy here. And it's also holding below this pivot zone here. So it's kind of in that area where you're not quite sure where it's next going to do. Is it going to break north this rising wedge? That seems a little bit more likely, but you know, their earnings weren't amazing and they keep losing money faster. So maybe it comes back and retests $7. That would seem logical. And then from there, you know, then maybe it breaks out. So needs to get over this volume shelf at 820 first, though. 815. Oh wow, Target crushed earnings today. As yeah, Target goes great. I mean, my wife probably shops there enough for them to make billions. Look for this to consolidate and kind of start rounding in this area. I definitely think it'll stay above 215. But this should see this is a really nice breakaway and should easily be a gap that does not need to get filled. We might see this start to rotate back up. Dollar Tree Tiff, you got it. CLSK, I'll take a look at that chat as well. Dollar Tree, kind of been in this zone for a while. Based on what I'm seeing here. Oh, he got earnings. Did they already report? Is it be tomorrow or was today? Report earnings tomorrow before market open. I can't really predict what this is going to do until I see earnings. If they have good earnings, I could see them opening up around 146 in that range, filling that wick and opening up right around there. If they have bad earnings, I could see this coming all the way down to 130, maybe even down to 115. They'd have to have really bad earnings to come down that far, but I will say I've been in a couple Dollar Trees recently. The shelves weren't really that stocked and the store wasn't really that busy, but that's just my experience. I don't really go to Dollar Tree often, so I can't really tell you exactly, but sometimes it's the only thing around. So we did Square already. Need to do CLSK. Clean Spark. Mara had pretty good earnings, so this looks like it had okay earnings. Yep, had good earnings. This is sitting right below a pivot. So if it gets through here, around over 1160, this looks really good. So I like it. Guess what I was on, huh? Hey, look at that. My accumulation chart somehow popped up on there. Amazon looks like it's coming down to 2,900. So if I had to guess, I'd say it's coming down there. And then maybe up and back down. Amazon doesn't look great. I'm just going to call it what it is. Hold on, my cat's pawing me. Just pick my pussy cat up here. Alright, cost. Did I do cost? I don't think I did. Ooh, this looks nice. Cost has earnings coming up. Cost should crush earnings. The only thing that would worry me is supply chain and labor costs. But I do think the chart looks good. I like the price action. I like the wicks. I like the volume. It's got... doesn't have to fill that gap. Looks like it already filled it, but wouldn't surprise me if this ran into earnings about 535. From there, it's all based on earnings, so... yeah, I really want to enter Google as well. Like, I want to long Google really, really bad. Like, super bad. Their split isn't till June, so I know I have a lot of time. Like, I think after March 20th is when I'll probably start building a position into Google. We need to get past that Fed rate decision in a couple weeks, and we need to get past that OPEX. And this Russia stuff needs to get a little bit more consolidated or behind us. And I really think then we can start scaling into Google. But the flow has been strong, and the accumulation has been strong. So Google, of all the tech stocks, is my favorite tech stock right now. Like, absolutely hands down my favorite tech stock, above Apple, Microsoft, anyone else. So I am allergic to cats, and yes, I have a cat on my lap. That's why you probably hear me sniffing a little. Alright. That's going to do it for me tonight. Hope this was helpful. Looks like we found some good ones that could play out over the next few days. Let's just take a quick look at futures to wrap up the night. Kind of weak. I do love this doji candle here. It's interesting. I mean, it's holding below. I think it's got more reason to go down than up. What I'd love to see is this is what I'm thinking is going to happen, but doesn't necessarily have to happen. So I think we get a pump, and then midway through tomorrow we get a reversal. So look for like first couple hours of the day we get a nice little pump, and then maybe we pump into Euro close, and then after Euro close we reverse. Not too sure how that's going to play out tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see, but by all means, like my chart calls for another pump, and it makes sense as long as we don't get super bad news out of Europe, then we should be all right. So oh, I did get 2 requests that I have to look at. Someone requested team. This thing. Rejected off the volume shelf. Did fill the gap. I mean, sitting at the point where it would bounce. So needs to bounce here, otherwise it's probably coming back down to 291. If it does bounce here, then you should see it approach 328. I think 328 seems like it's possible, but again, it all depends on market conditions. So, and then I think I had a request for SE as well, and this will be what we end on. What's going on? Why can't I click on things? There we go. So confused. A 2-minute candle? Scalping technique? I mean, I built an indicator that just tells me when to buy and sell on the 2 minutes, so that's all I do. I'm going to be releasing that soon too, so I want a couple more days of testing on it, but it's been hitting at about 90% success rate. But you know, you're looking for 5 to 10%, 5 to 10% moves on a scalper. All right, let's see here. On your options, that is. Yeah, Chris, arch spreads or arch options are not very liquid. That's the super bad the super downside to it. So if we do bounce here, could see this and SE, then it should break out from there. Alright, that's going to do it for me. Everyone, if you enjoyed the stream, do me a favor, throw me a thumbs up. You can scalp 60 cent moves with shares. 50, 60 cent moves. I mean, my program looks mainly for herein crossovers and RSI divergence, Jared. So if you were to go to, like, say, QQQ, and you pull up the 2 minute. I mean, really what you're looking for without a bot or anything is just pivot. Look for pivot zone reversals. So here you see the pivot zone reversal at the end of the day, the retest. You would have gone long at the breakout of this next candle. Or for instance, like you see this zone and you see this consolidation, you've gone short on the breakdown. And the 2 minute candle is just going to give you good entries. So thank you all. Have a great night. Jared, if you want to continue talking on Discord, feel free to ping me.